I have no idea where to start. I feel like I'm gonna end up oversharing. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. If you are day one here on day one, it's been so long since I've said that. Y'all, I've been waiting to do this video for so long. Keyword waiting. I'm a perfectionist and I see how far that's got me with this channel. Y'all, we going deep. I'm about to be super transparent with y'all as always. But honestly, it's been way too long. This video is overdue and that's why it's gonna be so packed, but y'all just bear with me, okay? It's my birthday, okay? So thank y'all for joining me. I decided to take a solo B-Day trip to kind of just enjoy some solitude. I like to get my goals and all of that together for what I want to do, what I want to manifest in 2022, and I just felt like this would be the perfect way to bring it in. I honestly was not planning on recording this, but I brought the camera, so I knew something was gonna happen. I didn't bring a ring light though, so I ended up going out and buying one today on the trip. And it didn't come with the USB part that plugs into the wall, so I had to go back out and get that. But I was like, I'm too determined. This video is gonna happen today, okay? So before I go like deep and start diving into this, I'm gonna need y'all to hit the car play, put me in your pocket while you're on the treadmill, whatever you do, cause like I said, I'm gonna be chatting. But y'all are really gonna feel like you're catching back up with me, and that's what I want. I hope this bubbly energy that I'm in right now is infectious, because I have not been in this space for a very long time, and it feels good. You're probably gonna see me smiling a lot, and it's genuine, so just know that. And like I say, y'all, I got a lot to go over, so I wrote some notes just so I don't leave anything out, because I could have done this video a while back, but now I'm just thinking of everything I wanted to add in, and it's a lot. But I want you guys to know what I've been up to, where I've been, and how life has been going. First off, I'm gonna hit you guys with a timeline dating back to like late 2019, because that's when I started kind of falling off of the internet. Definitely this channel, and even Instagram. That's like the only other place I really would be. That is when, you guys know, I had my mommy makeover and I was recovering, going through all of that. During that time, like that exact time period of my post-op healing, I was also in a very it was complicated. I was basically in a space of starting over. You know, I had been in a very unhealthy relationship for some years, and I had finally got out of that, but I was just moving back out, getting back on my own, trying to figure out life for me in Cairo and everything. It was such a hard transition. I did not have my family. I didn't have any friends close, so it was definitely a tough time starting out. And with that, you know, you start dating, talking to people because you get lonely. And I got in a very karmic relationship. Like as soon as I got in it, I knew. And I didn't catch myself right away, and I should have, because I didn't want to end up hurting any feelings. But you know, it was something at the moment I had to go through. I just knew it wasn't gonna work out, and it did not work out for long at all. Moving along, like with all of this timeline, I'm gonna hit y'all with little bullet points kind of, because we could be here all day, and I'm sure y'all don't care, but for the video's sake, you feel. So after that, I really needed something to put my energy into, and that's when I birthed the idea of Glow Depot. That was my very first business, like legal, on papers, legit business, right? And it was my heart. Like I put everything into that business, and it showed, and it made the money and all of that. So a few months after that, I ended up flying out to Cali, right? And I met my very best friend, who is now my fiance. Wait, you need it, you want it, wait. Ooh, whatever, you see it. But yes, and we definitely gonna be talking about that later on in the video. She had talked to me throughout my entire surgery. Like, she was the only person that I really had, and that was honestly like just my best friend, right? I was so overjoyed, and for the first time I did not feel stressed about anything. You know, Cali a whole different type of energy. If you've never been, you need to go. But just being there and feeling like nothing was wrong in the moment. You know, I could enjoy being myself. I could enjoy myself out there, and it was just a really good time. So once I came back home, you know, I went back to life, back to the everyday grind. And after meeting, we both knew that we were locked in after that. Like, you my best friend, and nothing is gonna change that. So once I went home, you know, we were planning on, like, I don't really like where I'm at. I was chilling. I was in the hood, honey. That could be a whole different video, just telling y'all stories about that. But I was ready to get up out of where I was at. And you know, she wasn't locked down either where she was at. So we were like, why, let's go get a place in Atlanta, or maybe I come out to Cali, or whatever it was. We were down. It was cool. Well, that didn't happen, but we did eventually move in together. And that is a completely, like, that is a whole video in itself. And if y'all want me to talk about it, I'll talk about it. But that's a long story. So from that point on, we moved into a nicer, bigger place together. You know, her and Cairo had like the best relationship. It was the cutest. She ended up starting her own business. I continued working in my business, and we considered the place where we were at the hustle pad. Like, that was what we named it, the hustle pad, because we knew we weren't going to be there for long, but while we were there, we were going to make some money, and we did. Around maybe March or April of 2021, you know, already dealing with COVID times and that collective energy, it was heavy. I just started to kind of slip into, I guess you could say, a depression. I have felt deep, dark depression before, and it didn't feel quite like that at first. You know, I was still actively doing everything in my day. I was still like smiling here and there. I was still keeping up with friends and stuff. It wasn't the depression that I was used to feeling. But later, I kind of started feeling like, okay, this is like a deeper, like a spiritual depression. And I definitely feel like it was a dark night of the soul type of moment, or a chapter of my life. And it lasted and it lasted. And I really feel like I'm finally just starting to kind of come out of it now, and entering more of like a void state. If you don't know any of what I'm talking about right now, I can definitely talk about that in a different video. But yeah, at that point, like I said, I was still actively doing everything in my day, when it came to my business, but I was no longer enjoying it. It felt like work. It felt like, even though it was my business, I was working for someone else. I dreaded working in my business. And I felt like the universe really started picking up on that. And okay, well, you don't really feel like doing it, so I'm gonna take some of the customers away. Okay, I'm going to close some of the other businesses that you were working with, that you needed. And the last thing that really got me was I bought this huge, and I've told the story on live, I think, before, but I bought this really big, like, LED, like, storefront type of sign, and it was expensive. And it went out. It just, like, I know that happens all the time. I know it does. But the way that it was made, it was not, like I said, it was not cheap. And I hadn't had it for long enough that I felt like it should have broke like that. It was something so small, you know, I didn't even think about having a technician come in or something, but every time I tried to turn it on, I was just like, I know it's gonna turn back on, but it would not turn back on. So anyway, other than my business, I was starting to feel like a real loss of self. Like I didn't know who I was anymore, and it was such an unfamiliar feeling. That's kind of when now all the more typical depression symptoms started showing up. I didn't want to get out of the bed. I was crying all the time for no reason. And I just knew something did not feel right. So I was trying my best to keep up with my everyday routines. I was trying to work out as normal. Like I didn't care. I didn't have the same drive, the same discipline that Summer does. And eventually it started to show. I started to gain weight over the time. From my surgery to now, I had gained like, I want to say 45 pounds at my heaviest. I got up to like 240, 250. And I promised myself that would never happen. That was the moment when I knew I let myself go. And you know, a lot of people tell you don't be hard on yourself. You know, you've done it once, you can do it again, and all of that. But I'm someone who has to be hard on myself. Naturally, as a Capricorn, I'm gonna be. I might not be hard on you or somebody else, but I have to be hard on me. That's how I lost the weight in the first place. That's just how I work with myself. And it's not in a mean way. It's like I need tough love from myself or there is no results. So that's that. And to be completely honest, it has been very hard to get back to a healthy place with myself when it comes to like eating and a consistent workout routine. Like it was second nature to do all of that. And now I have to put a lot of effort into it. I can get it done. I get it done. But getting back to what I know, or even, I won't even say back to, we moving forward. Getting to where I want to be is taking a lot more effort than it did back then, you feel me? So nothing I can't do. I understand it, but I had to tap into that. I had to. I had started smoking weed again. I had started eating things that Summer wouldn't dream of touching again. I started having like toxic conversations with friends and stuff. Like I picked up on an energy that really did not feel like me. And again, it took a lot for me to even realize the space that I was in to begin to try to get out of it. Now, this cycle lasted for months and it was so hard. Around July is when our lease was up at our current place. And we were just like, yo, we do not want to be here anymore. We didn't want to be in Virginia, period, anymore. So we were looking at places in Georgia. Every time we were going back and forth, it didn't feel right. Like we didn't know what our next move was going to be. And then we were like, maybe, what about North Carolina? Like it was so random, like how we just came up with the thought. But we both looked at each other and we were just like, yeah. So I immediately ran off to my room. Like for the first time in a minute, I felt joyful. I felt excited about something again. I'm like, this is so random. We never even talked about this before. So I'm looking for places and I came up, oh, it's 9/11. I came across the most beautiful house and I was just like, yo, there's no way. It's been on the market for 10 days and just the area, the pictures, it was so modern. I was just like, yo, there's no way. I know somebody's already closed on this house or whatever. And unbeknownst to me, we made a drive a couple days later, right? I went to the house. I looked at the house. I was like, oh my God, it's the house in the picture. Oh my God. Of course it was. And I walked up to the front door and I put my hands on the door. I had not felt a moment like that. It was so powerful. It felt, doors don't really feel they feel like doors, but it felt so warm. Like it felt like an orb of energy. It felt great. I knew it was going to be my space. I knew, and I manifested it when I touched it. And not even like 24 hours later, I was like, I gotta go back. I have to go back. Like I have to tell the house, you're mine. One last time, right? And I did. And before we even pulled out of the driveway, I got the call, right? So we made the move, just pimped out of our old place, packed up everything in like a matter of 3 days, cleaned up house, and we were out. And we just completely started our life over again. And I'll tell you one thing, if you are someone who grew up in like a little town, or even if not, if you're just from somewhere, you grew up there, you stayed there most of your life, and you never made a big move or just moved states in general, there's liberation in that. Like once you move once, you will move a million times if you want to. Like it's something about that initial detachment from your home that will just like drop you anywhere on a map. And I'm so excited for our next move. I don't know where we're going next, but I know this is not like, this isn't it. Anywho, while I'm still happy about being where I'm at, guys, when I tell you, like, that didn't automatically cure, you know, the way that I was feeling, but it brought so much new energy and love. And it just, like, you know, the feeling of just being in new surroundings in general. And our lives have changed immensely, like in literally every single way since we've been here. We are such creatives. We are entrepreneurs. We're sharks. And at that time, we were sharks in a fishbowl. We couldn't grow any bigger where we were at. So once you take us and throw us into a lake or the ocean, we're growing in literally every way. Like this chapter, I'm so grateful for this chapter. And maybe I was going through so much of that to make space, to make room for everything that's coming to me, coming to us now. You know, since I've moved, I have traveled more than I ever have in my life. Even during COVID times, I have made more money. We've made a lot more money. And with that, let me mention, because it ain't all good. With that comes a lot of overindulging. When you someone who ain't really have money, or maybe you have money, but you ain't have money, and then you get a bag, you gonna blow the bag. Even if you make it back, you gonna blow that bag. So with that, I've probably eaten everybody's lobster tail. I have overindulged so much, and there ain't nobody to blame but myself. So I can't act like I don't know where the weight came from. But literally, figuratively, spiritually, in every sense of the word, I'm in a much better space right now. I still struggle. I don't want anybody to think, you know, just moving is going to completely change your life, even though it will. But I'm happy. I'm so happy. Obviously, you know, I'm engaged. I can't believe that. Like, I always say, like, I was never the little girl that dreamed of growing up and being a wife or anything. So it's kind of a new feeling for me, but I'm so excited to even be in a healthy relationship and thriving in business, starting businesses, and just honestly being and becoming all of my dreams from past years. Like, you know, when you're in a messed up place mentally, it's hard to realize, like, you're living your dreams. I am literally, like, maybe a little off-road detoured a little bit, but I am living out so many of the things that I dreamed of. I don't know. I hope that's inspirational to somebody. But yeah. Beyond the timeline of everything that's been going on, I have learned so much about myself, you guys. So much. And if you're moving through life and you're not, I feel like that's weird. I've learned to take a lot more accountability for the choices that I make, for the places that I end up. You know, whether that be a relationship or a job, any possible situation that you end up in your life, you have a part to play in. Don't ever feel like you did not help co-create what you're going through. Message. When you realize that fact and you really take it in, it's a lot easier to accept things, to not dwell on them, to start healing from them. And I will say, for a long time, I was that person that loved to blame this on that, this on them, that on her. And that doesn't get you very far. Oops, my camera cut off on me. So even like with this channel, taking accountability for, you know, every time that I said I was going to continue making videos, or I was going to have a video the next week or a couple days and I didn't, like, it wasn't that my passion or my love wasn't there for the channel. It was like I was not ready to be responsible with this channel. And even now, I don't want to say that I'm going to have a video up 2 days a week and you guys are going to see this. I'm making a video about this. I am really genuinely trying to get to a space and a place within myself where I can be there for myself. I can show up for myself, so I can show up for you guys, so I can show up for the other people in my life. And I'm in a much more honest space. And more than anything else, I have to stress this. I have to, because most of the immediate people in my life know this. Some people on socials know this, but I have grown so close to myself spiritually. I have the biggest space for it. Like, it has become not only a passion, but my everyday life. And I know I'll probably end up talking about that in a separate video, but that has honestly saved and changed my life in so many ways. I'm getting like goosebumps just thinking about it now. Like, that first moment scares me. That first moment of enlightenment, like when you have a spiritual awakening for the first time, oh my God. I'm just... separate video. Hopefully after this night, because it's my last night here, before I go back home, I will have a better idea of what's next for me. But I do know it's gonna be a wedding, honey. It's gonna be a real pretty wedding. Honestly though, what's up next for me? I have just recently started a new business venture, which I'm very excited about. This is way different than Glow Depot, which I'm in the process of figuring out how to close it out the right way. Right now it's kind of just lingering, holding on by a thread, making very minimal sales. And I feel like at this point, to be completely honest, and I didn't think I was going to talk about this in this video, but everything in my heart told me it was time to let go. Everything in my cards, everything in all my readings, and but more than anything, in my heart told me it's not it no more, sis. It's not. You've tried, you thrived, you did your thing, but it's not it anymore. So I'm working on getting all of my inventory together. I'll probably be doing like a really big sale and closing out that chapter. Closing out that chapter. Oh, I didn't expect it to make me this emotional. I think I need to sit with myself and have a moment after this. But more than anything, for me, I really want to work on bettering myself, my education, my knowledge, my earning potential, just loving myself a lot more wholeheartedly, putting like energy into finishing everything that I start. That's been a big thing for me in my life. And, you know, just getting back to a place where I can help others and inspire. Like, that's, I know that's to some extent what we were all put here for, but personally, that's one thing that I'm meant to do throughout my whole life. Like, life path wise, I'm here to help other people by showing them how to live through me, you know, if that makes sense, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, because I know I went over a lot. Leave me some love, leave me some support. Make sure you like this video. Again, subscribe if you're not already, and help your girl get back in the pool, because I dipped my toe and it was cold. They ain't messing with me with the engagement, but I'm gonna need y'all help, okay? Make sure to follow me on Instagram at vibewithred2ds_. I love you guys.